If you want to get the best equipment and mine the most valuable ore in Ultimate Mining Tycoon, this video is for you. I will show you the best layout in the entire game, which equipment you will need, as well as mining strategies that will make you earn money faster than ever before. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to subscribe and let's begin. Okay, so we're going to continue the video from where we ended the previous layouts, which was the engine factory. I just did a little bit of adjustments for the engine factory to match the newest updates, and the small adjustments will be published on the Discord along with the other engine factory. Alright, so what we can do now is we can honestly just delete the entire plot, because we're now going to start all from scratch. Okay, so layout we're going to build costs $6 million, with upgrades making it cost $8 million. The main machine in this layout is naturally the power core assembler. The power core assembler combines a metal casing, a superconductor, and an electromagnet to create a power core, combining their values and increasing it by 150%. To make the superconductors, we'll then need the superconductor constructor, which combines an alloy bar and a ceramic casing to make a superconductor, combining their values and increasing it by 200%. As for the gems, we're going to use a prismatic gem crucible, which merges two gems into a prismatic gem, combining and adding 50% to their value. A prismatic gem is basically an alloy furnace, but for gems. As well as that, we're also going to need a ceramic furnace, which turns clay blocks into ceramic casing, which we need for the superconductors. And for the clay blocks, we will naturally need a clay mixer, which mixes two dust together, creating one clay block. Else than that, we need to make sure to have two electronic tuners, and we're also going to be buying one extra ore cleaner, one extra polisher, and one extra ore smelter. Else than that, all of the machines we're going to need are in the electromagnetic setup, but just to go quickly through those machines, you're going to need the magnetic machine, the casing machine, then you're going to need a frame maker, a bolt machine, an alloy furnace, a tempering forge, all the prospectors, and a gem cutter. Alright, let's build this layout. Okay, so in the start here, we're going to start filtering out the gems, and the layout will also be running at twice the efficiency. So if you haven't bought the extra output belt, you should do that. So you have 2 output belts. If you have 3, you can just take the conveyor and do it in like this, or just ignore it all over. It does not matter. So this layout will therefore be twice as efficient as what it would be with only 1 output belt. So what we're going to do is we're going to smelt things twice here. So we're going to start by adding a polisher, an ore cleaner, and then an ore smelter like this. Now we're going to send the stone back in this direction. As for the other conveyor, we're going to do the same, do like this, and we're going to polish them, clean them, and smelt them like this. The stone will go up like this in this direction, and we'll do the same for the stone on this side. We're going to send them in this direction, sending it up, and then connecting them like this. Okay, we can start with the alloy furnace now. So for the alloy furnace, we're going to need the ores from both of these. And how we're going to do it is we're going to send the ores like this. So we get ores out here and here. And they're both going to be tempered in the tempering forge like this. Okay, so here's a little mistake in the original recording, because you can actually just temper the alloy bars instead of tempering the normal bars, and you will get the same ratio. That way you only need to use 1 tempering forge. So to prevent the system from clogging, in case there will be a lot of gems coming out on one side here, we're going to add overflow splitters that will overflow split into each direction. So if the ore stars stop here, they will just go into here and go in this direction instead. In that way, we should prevent any clogging. Now just place down the alloy furnace like this. And now comes the difficult part, because power core assembler needs in total 10 ores, or 10 alloy bars. And in order to split these things perfectly, we're going to make something called a load balancer. To make it easy for you, I did all the fixing myself, so you don't need to think about it. So all you're going to need is to place a splitter towards the left right here, a 3-way splitter right here, and a splitter towards the right. And now for the 3-way splitter, the bottom output will then go back into this, making it balance out at 10 ores. And then we're going to add an upwards elevator on the end here, and then the conveyor that will just go in this direction. We'll fix it later. As for the two last outputs, we can just send them one out like this and send them in this direction. Over here, we're going to make the space for the metalworks. This will be the 8/10, which will then make casing machine. So for the casing machine, you've kind of done this already with the electromagnet layout. We're going to add a splitter towards the right and another splitter towards the right. Now we're going to connect them. And then we're going to add two up here and a plate stamper. Here, we're going to add a casing machine, which will be faced in that direction right here. On this side of the casing machine, we'll be adding a frame maker. Some bars will be going into the frame maker right here, while the others will go around like this and into here. So we now need a bolt machine right here. It does not matter where you place it, I just like it there. And then we're going to split half the bolts so that half the bolts go into the casing machine and half the bolts go into the frame maker. Okay, so how this works mathematically is that this one needs 2 bars from each side, so 2, 2, 2, and therefore we take 4 in this direction, where 2 goes into the frame maker, 2 goes into there, and then we take 4 in this direction, where 2 goes straight into this casing machine and 2 goes into the frame maker. So 4 total into frame maker, which turns into 2, and 4 goes around, which makes 2 casings per 8 minerals. Now for the casing machine, we're just going to split right here, and we can honestly place down the power core assembler, which should face upwards and be placed right here. So now we can just send the casing straight into the power core assembler. As for the second casing, we're going to add a magnetic machine, which we'll place right here. Okay, so we'll now send the magnetic machine down. And now, because electromagnets are electronics, we're going to use an electro tuner right here. As for this output, we're just going to send it around. So an upwards elevator going into the magnetic machine, then just conveyors going around like this. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot something really important, and that is to connect this elevator to the electromagnets. And that is done very simple by doing like this, and then we can just delete one spot in the middle and place down a coiler. Now the last thing we're now going to need is the superconductor, so let's start working with the stone. But what we can do is we can actually just place down the superconductor, which will be placed right here. And we'll just send the bar straight into the superconductor, and a superconductor is an electronic again, so we can use an additional electronic tuner. Alright, so as for this side, now the stone will now be filtered through 4 different prospectors. Last time we did 5, but because the power cores are so good, the topaz prospector is suddenly not as good anymore. Therefore, we're only going to use 4 prospectors this time, which will be the diamond, the ruby, the sapphire, and the emerald. Now we're going to filter the gems towards the left, and just like we did last time, I'm going to use a crusher and a sifter on the end. The ore output can just be sent all the way back to the start again, just like this, simple and easy. As for the gems that are popping up right here, we will be adding an upwards elevator. Just remember to filter the gems so that you don't send gems through the entire system. That will be a problem. The same goes for last filter here. Remember, assign gems. These gems will then just be sent all the way around right here and in this direction. We're going to work more with them later. As for these gems, will be sent to support the same conveyor right here. And we can also add right here a polisher and a gem cutter. Below here, we're going to add 2 conveyors like this. We're going to split them to the left, and we're going to place down a clay mixer like this. Now we're going to send 2 conveyors in here and 1 conveyor in here. Now we're going to send these down, and it will be sent into a ceramic furnace. And the stuff which will be inside the ceramic furnace will be sent into the superconductor, but there will be a lot more ceramic casing that is going out of a ceramic furnace. Therefore, we're going to use an overflow splitter that will split towards the left, so that the standard direction will be into the superconductor, but the overflow will go in this direction. You should also remember to place down a polisher to polish the ceramic casing. Now for the gems, we're going to use a downwards elevator, and then we're going to split towards the left. Right here, we're going to place down the prismatic gem crucible. And now what we can do is we can just connect these right here and send them to a seller. The only upgrade we can get to this setup is adding a quality assurance machine. A quality assurance machine costs $2 million and it adds 20% value to items that have not already been QA tested. What you can do is you can just delete this one conveyor and add yourself a quality assurance machine. And this concludes basically the best setup you can get in the entire game, except for the rebirth machines, of course. If you're ever confused with all of the other machines in the game, I'm just going to tell you that Power Core is the best way to earn money in the game. Laser Maker is not worth it, Blasting Powder is not worth it, there's no reason to look into it. How you should do it, you should get the engine factory, then go straight onto Power Core Assembler. Simple and easy. At this point, you should get yourself the Infernum pickaxe for $1 million. That way, you can mine more valuable ores like Palladium, Mithril, and Iridium. I do suggest you to get yourself the XL backpack as well, and more importantly, at this point, you should definitely get yourself the C4 level 5. And going deeper into the mines now, a little trick is to mine 1 or 2 spots in and then just lay the dynamite on top of the stone like this. In that case, the dynamite will explode a much larger radius than if you would just place it on the wall. Alright, so I just came back from a mining session with a backpack full of plutonium and some gems, and let me show you how this layout works. As you can see, the ores are going double like here, and the gems will then be filtered towards the left, going up in this direction. The rest of the bars will be split evenly all throughout the entire setup. And the final value of a plutonium power core is 282,000. And as you can see, the plutonium will then go into the quality assurance machine and be sold for 340,000. Now, if you want to take the game to a whole new level, you can get the diamond pickaxe. With the diamond pickaxe, you're now able to mine ores like adamantanium, rhodium, and even an obsidian. If you then take these ores and combine them, you can get a power core that is worth up to 4 million. The layout we built in this video will be published on the Discord server. Link is in the description. Thank you for watching. Peace.